Shabbat Shalom. It is lovely to be starting the service with a minyan and to know that we are here and able to say Kaddish for those who are trying to say Kaddish and to be just a blessing for all of us. So I was schmoozing. We're a minute late, but we have a minyan. I'll take 1 minute late and a minyan over on time without a minyan. We will begin on the Kabbalat Shabbat with Yedid Nefesh, page 14.
Yedid Nefesh Havarachaman, Yedid Nefesh Havarachaman, Meshav Avnach, Eretz
Continue on page 15, Lechun Rananam.
Lechun Rananam, Lechun Rananam, Lechun Rananam, Adonai. Lechun Rananam, Lechun Rananam, Lechun Rananam, Adonai. Naria, Naria, Letzui Shenu, Nekadma Fanav Betonah. Naria, Naria, Letzui Shenu, Bizmirat Naria Lo, Lechun Ranena, Lechun Ranena, Lechun Ranena, Adonai, Lechun Ranena, Lechun Ranena, Lechun Ranena, Adonai. Naria, Naria, Letzui Shenu, Nekadma
Fanav Betonah. Naria, Naria, Letzoi Shenu, Bizmirot Naria Lo, Lechun Ranena, Lechun Ranena, Lechun Ranena, Adonai, Lechun Ranena, Lechun Ranena, Lechun Ranena, Adonai.
Arbaim Shana Akot Vedor Ba'omar Am Toeb Levavim Behem Lo Yadu Derachai Asher Nishbati V'api Im Yimon Nevenuchati.
We turn the page, 16.
Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru l'Adonai,
Kol haaretz shiru l'Adonai, Baruchu Shemo, Basu miyom le'yom Yeshuato, Saberu v'goyim, Kevodo b'chol ha'amim niflotav, Ki gadol Adonai, Olam me'od, Nora'u, Al kol Elohim, Ki kol Elohei ha'amim elilim, Adonai shamayim asa,
כבוד והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו. הבו לאדוני משפחות עמי, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו. זהו מנחה ובוא לחצרותיו, השתחוו לאדוני בחצרת קודש, מילאו מפניו כל הארץ. אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך תיקון תימוד, ידין עמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ירם הים ומלואו, יעלות סיני וכל אשר בו. אז ירננו כל עצי ההר לפני אדוני, כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל וצדק, ועמים באמונתו. אלי אלי
Read together, page 17. Adonai is sovereign, let the world rejoice. God's throne is founded on justice. Though God is clouded from view, divine justice reveals God's presence. God's lightning illumines the earth. Fire consumes God's foes. Mountains melt like wax before Adonai. The earth trembles. Shame covers those who worship idols, those who take pride in revering images which must themselves bow low before God. You are supreme over all the earth, highly exalted beyond all that is worshipped. Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the faithful and saves them from the wicked. Light is stored for the righteous, joy for the honorable. Rejoice in Adonai, you who are righteous. Acclaim the holiness of God's name. And we'll turn to the 98th Psalm, page 18 in the Siddur.
מזמור שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, כי לפלוט עשה הושיע לו ימינו עוזרו קדשו. הוניע אדוני ישועתו, לעיני הגויים הילה צדקתו. זכר חסדו ואמונתו לבית ישראל. ראו כל עשי הארץ את ישועת אלוהינו. הביאו לאדוני כל הארץ, פיצו ורננו וזמרו. זמרו לאדוני בכינור וכל זמרה. בחצוצרות וכל שופר, הביאו לפני המלך אדוני. ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבה. נהרות עמך וכף, יחד הרים ירננו. לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט צדק וצדק בעמים במישרים. לילה 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 So it's interesting to me, the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat
have two major themes. One is song and joy itself, appreciating the gift of this moment, the gift of time, the gift of blessing. And then there's another competing thread, and that is a desire for justice. That so many of these psalms look at the world around us, and this is not just the world around us, but the world for the last thousands of years, and saying, hey God, I thought you built a world of justice. Where is it? How can we make it happen? And there's a cry, both to ourselves and to the world around and to God, of saying, what's going on right now in this world? Does this represent the world that we want to live in? If so, great, let's sing about it. If not, what are we doing to make it happen? And I think about, the protest movements over the years and how much of protest often has call and response. They have song because we are all lifted up through the power of music. So at the bottom of page 19, we will call out to God, Romamu Adonai. Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. So on page 20, if you're able, we rise for Mizmor LeDavid.
Mizmor LeDavid,
Havul Adonai v'nejim, Havul Adonai, Ma'ozai, Havul Adonai, Kevod Shemo Yishtachavu Adonai, Adat Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Alamai, El Akavod, Yirim Adonai, Alamai Rabim, Kol Adonai, Akoachai, Kol Adonai, Me'ada Kol Adonai, Shover Razim, Etasei Alvanon, Vegel Le'anon, Vesiron, Kemo V'nei Mimai, Kol Adonai, Chotzei Lavotesh, Kol Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai, Kol Adonai, Cholel Hayadot, Vayesov, Ye'arot, Uvecharo, Kulo Omer Kavod, Adonai, Rahmahu Yeshava Yeshevaro, Melech Le'olam, Adonai, Oz. Le'amo yitin Adonai, Yivarech et amo v'shalom. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. be seated. We turn to my favorite part of Kabbalat Shabbat, Lecha Dodi, welcoming the Sabbath bride. Page 21, we'll do the first two stanzas and then turn to 22 for the last two, rising on the final one.
Lecha Dodi likat kala, Bnei Shabbat shekabela,
Adoti likat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela, Shamor v'zachor meni borechad, Ishmi'anu ye'echad Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, V'shemo tiferet v'litzila, Lecha Dodi likat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha Dodi likat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela, Shekrat Shabbat nechu v'necha, Ki lekor ha'veracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aser v'machshava tehila, Lecha Dodi likat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha Dodi likat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela, Yamin usmol tifrotzi, ve'et Adonai taritzi, al yad ish ben partzi, ונשמחה ונגילה, Lecha Dodi likat kala, Shabbat nekabela, Lecha Dodi likat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela, Bo'ir shalom ateret bala, Gam besimcha ofet sochola, Tochemune am segula, Bo'ich chala, Lecha Dodi likat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha Dodi likat kala, Bnei Shabbat nekabela. May be seated. We have had losses this week, and one of those is the loss of Lee Liebson, member of our community, on and off for her entire life, more or less. And when somebody sits Shiva, there's a pause for Shabbat. They have no outward signs of mourning on Shabbat, but we acknowledge their presence and welcome them into the community with an extra special reminder, Hamakom Yinachem Etchem Betok Sha'ar B'nai Tzion V'Yerushalayim, that may God comfort them along all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. So Marv and Gary, we're thinking of you tonight and of the memory of Lee. And we continue our service with the song for Shabbat, page 23.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת,
טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ממונתך מלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינם. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני,
לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון.
מגלו מסך אדוני מעולם כל שבטיך.
צדיק אתה יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עודנון בצעיה דשנים העננים להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי בלא
And the final psalm of the first part of our service, Kabbalat Shabbat, page 24.
Adonai malach Ehud lavish, lavish Adonai oti tazar, atikon tevel batimot, nachon kisacha me'az, me'alamata, Adonai, Naseo neharot olam, Yisu neharot olam, Mikolot ma'im rabim adirim mishbereyam, Adir v'marom Adonai, Elo techanemnu me'od, Letchavan v'kodesh, Adonai leorech yamim.
Those who are observing a yard site are in the time of mourning, Kaddish, page 24. Yitzkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba. Bi'alma divrach chiritei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomachon v'chayei techol Beit Yisrael. B'agala uv'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitshomam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei kudsha brichum. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nachamata. Dameran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya. V'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imroma v'yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May be seated. In our Siddur, they have some brief texts in between Kabbalat Shabbat and Mariv with little connections to Shabbat. So one of those is from Bereshit Rabbah, one of the Midrashic commentaries on Bereshit, on Genesis. And it says that Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, Aseh Suda, he made a big feast. And when did he make it? For the Antonius, the Roman Empire. And this was a Shabbat dinner. He invited him over. Havi lefanav tavshilin shel tzonen, and achal mechem ve'aravlo. So this is, I guess, actually it was not Friday night dinner, it was Saturday afternoon, and he makes for him a cold meal. Now, normally an emperor, you think, gets a fancy hot meal, but it's Shabbat, so no, cold meal. And the emperor loves them. A few days later, the rabbi makes him another meal. This time it's during the week. He invites him over for a Tuesday night dinner, so he's able to cook. And he makes, an even more elaborate dinner, hot food, and the emperor says, how can it be that I found those other foods more tasty than these? And Rabbi Judah says, because they're missing, atam arvuli yoter me'elu. They're just missing one thing. And Antonius says, "And the emperor! How can my pantry lack anything?" And the rabbi said, "The ingredient the meal lacked is Shabbat." Can Shabbat be found in your pantry? Shabbatem chaserim yesh lecha Shabbat. Do you have Shabbat? And I think that question is one that we can ask ourselves too. Yesh lecha Shabbat. Do you have Shabbat? Is it in your pantry? Is it in your home? Now, I'm talking to the choir here, because you're all here to celebrate Shabbat. But I need everybody else too. We need all of us to make Shabbat, to have the dinner with friends and with family, to taste the food. And even if the food is not fancy, it doesn't have to be fancy. I said before, if you ordered a pizza and that's your Shabbat meal, if it's your Shabbat meal with people that you care about, well, you know what? That pizza is a holy pizza. And if you make a beautiful meal and you spend hours preparing, and you invite people, you invite your family, you invite your friends, and you say the brachot, you light the candles, you have the wine, that too will be a beautiful meal. It doesn't have to be super fancy. I like that once in a while. It's nice to make a nice meal. There's a feeling of accomplishment, right? If you put the things together and you patchkit around, and you feel the energy that came from the love that's in that meal. But in addition to the love, add Shabbat too. I saw T-shirts at one point, like remember when the Got Milk campaigns were going around? So I know somebody that made a shirt, Got Shabbat. But it's the same thing right here that Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi, not last week, but 2,000 years ago, said, Yesh lecha Shabbat. Do you have Shabbat? A simple question that we need to ask ourselves every single week. Because the other blessing of Shabbat is, we want it every week, but if we didn't get it quite right last week, guess what we have next week? We got another shot. So I pray for all of you that this Shabbat is a Shabbat of ahava, of love, of meaning, of shalom, of peace, and most of all of bracha, of blessing. So we'll continue with our evening service. We'll rise together, page 28, for the call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Baruch et Adonai HaMorach.
Baruch Nevorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech Asher B'Zman Aravim B'Chma Pateshim.
Umar yom u'meir layla, umavdil ben yom u'ben layla, Adonai tzemot shemo, Echai v'kayam, Tamidim l'chaleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamarim Aravim, Ahavat Olam
Bet Yisrael Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot Psukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu Shachveinu Ofkumeinu Nasiach Bechukecha Nismach B'divrei Toratecha U'b'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed. Ki hem hayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem neke yomam v'layla Shemo. Page 30. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levacha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol me'otecha. Asher nochi mitzavecha, yom alvavecha, v'shinantam avanecha, v'nivarta bam, v'shivtecha v'veitecha, u'melektecha b'derech, v'shach becha uv'kumecha, shartam le'ot ayadecha, היו לו תותפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. והיה משפטך אשר אנוכי מצווה. ויאמר להם שלמה דבר.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
Amen. Page 32. We'll continue.
ומלכותו מרצון קיבלו עליהם. משה
בני ישראל לפנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם, מי כמוך אלוהים אדוני, מי כמוך נאמר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך רלבנך, מוקי הים לפני משה, זה הביאנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פעל אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. Baruch atah Adonai, God Yisrael. On the right-hand side of page 33, at the very bottom, we'll read together from Danny Siegel. O God, you are a consolation to your creatures. For in moments of forgetting, we but call to mind your care, and we are comforted. When we hope no more, a pattern in the snow reminds us of your loving kindness. Your dawns give us confidence, and sleep is a friend. Our sorrows dissipate in the presence of an infant's smile, and old men's words revive our will to wish. Your hints are everywhere, your signals in the most remote of places. You are here. We fail words to say, Ma Tov. How good our breath, our rushing energies, our silences of love. Praise to you, Adonai, who spreads a shelter of peace over us, over all God's children, and over Jerusalem. We rise, page 34, for Shamru and the Hatzikadosh, and then we'll take a few moments for our personal prayer, giving thanks for the special gift of Shabbat from pages 35 to 40.
Meshamru b'nei Yisrael et
Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם
ביני ובין בני ישראל
לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים
עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וליום השביעי
שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמך
אמן.
עמל יברא כנותי וימליך
מלכותי
בחייך
ימיכון ובחיי תכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב
ואמרו
אמן. ישמרה במבורך לעולם 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 יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתבר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמדבר שם
בריחו
לילה מנגו וגדה בשירתה
תושבחת בנחמתה דמירן ועלמם.
ואמרו
אמן. When you've finished your personal prayer, we turn to page 47 for Vaychulu and remain standing if we're able.
Asher asa, Vayivarech Elohim et Yom HaShvi'i, Vayikadesh oto, V'shalat mikol melachto, Asher bara Elohim lasot. On page 48, we'll read together in English. Our God and God of our ancestors, find favor in our Shabbat rest. Instill in us the holiness of your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our portion. Fill our lives with your goodness and gladden us with your triumph. Cleanse our hearts so we might serve you faithfully, lovingly, and willingly, Adonai our God. Grant that we inherit your holy Shabbat, so that the people Israel who hallow your name will always find rest on this day. Praised are you, Adonai, who hallows Shabbat. turn to the Kiddush, page 49.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher
Shanu
kiddushanu
mitzvotav v'ratzavanu
Meshamat
Kodsho
me'ahavot ratzon v'chilanu
Zikon lema'aseh v'reishit
Ki hu
Yom
yom
tehila Mika'e kodesh Zeher letziat Mitzrayim Anu acharta Otanu kidashta Mikol העמים שבת קודשך יהבה ורצון הנהלתנו
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh
השבת. Amen. We'll turn now to Aleinu, page 51.
Aleinu l'shameach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא רצנו כגויי הרשות, ולא שמענו כמשמעות הרמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העולם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומשה מקרוב בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אלון אמת מלכנו ארץ וגללו כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום השמות אלה בבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת עינות ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated. As I said this week, we are thinking of Lee Liebson. May her memory be a blessing. And we are thinking of those whose yard sites fall this week: Harriet Fishman, Sarah F. Moss, Rose Itzkovitz Billet, Asher Gill, Maisie Kagan, Benjamin Arnold Diamond, William Augenbraun, John Glazer, Bernice Doran Bershad, Dr. Morris Levine, Rose Colin, Lois Gross, David Stein, Minnie Berger, Ellen Bernstein, Herman Wallenstein, Zlata Shapiro, Ina Gottler-Kolin, Sylvia Packman, Carl Hyman Josephitz, and Lillian Grossman. May their memories be a blessing. Those who are observing a yard site or in the time of mourning, please join with me on page 52. Yitzgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabam. B'alma tivrach chirutei v'yamlech malchutei. B'chayachon v'yomachon v'chayet zechol beit Yisrael. B'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei Rabam avorach le'olam olomei almaya. Yitbarach v'shtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitzhadar v'yitzalev v'yitzalal shmei d'kudsha b'richum. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata, namaran bi'alma bi'emru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'emru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yishvei Tevel v'emru, amen. You may be seated. So I found, this is from the Kol HaNeshama, one of the Reconstructionist prayer books, and this is actually from the 1945 version. They have a quote for the 4th of July, which you might notice that Independence Day is coming up this Tuesday, so just a brief reading. So they write, this is, the end of the Second World War. May America remain loyal to the principles of the Declaration of Independence and apply them to ever-widening areas of life. May our country be free from oppression, persecution, and unjust discrimination. May we overcome religious, racial, and class conflicts, and may we be restored as a haven of refuge for the victims of injustice and deprivation. May we learn the art of living together and come to understand how to appreciate differences, to reconcile clashing interests, and to help one another achieve a harmonious and abundant life. May we acquire the wisdom to choose honest and capable leaders who will govern us by democratic and ethical principles. And may the enterprise of our American people be blessed, that we may utilize the resources of our land for the good of all the world. Just, I have to say, written in the, I don't know if this was, they're writing this in 1944 for publication in 1945, and they're writing this in the midst of war. I don't know if this was written right after the war, but I have to say I'm very moved and a little bit sad that this feels like it could be written today, in this exact moment, calling out, again, what is the vision of this country that we are praying for? The vision that upholds the principles that come from our founding documents of that we are all endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we'll keep working on those. But there is no place I would rather be than this amazing country. Even with all its imperfections, even with all its faults, there is no place like here. And I'm glad that we have the opportunity to be here and to celebrate a little bit early. So we'll conclude with Yigdal, page 53.
Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yishtabach
נמצא בעינת על מציאותו, אחד אין יחיד כייחודו, אלא גם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואין לו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון וראשית לראשיתו. הינו אדון עולם וכל האוצר, יורק גדולתו ומלכותו, שפן נבואתו נתנו, אלא אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא, הוא מעביד את אמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמו אל. היה נביאו נאמן ביתו, ישראל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר וקדמתו, גומר איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע כרישתו, ישלח כגשמים משיחנו, לפתור מהקקת ישועתו. מתים יחייל ורב חסדו, ברוך הדיית שם תהילתו. מתים יחייל ורב חסדו, ברוך הדיית שם תהילתו. Shabbat Shalom. Tomorrow morning we begin as usual at 9 a.m. May it be a week of peace for us all.
Shabbat.